In a previous movie, we showed that the array command could be used to set a series of header bricks around a portion of a circle. Before we start, let's look at the hatching for the grassed area. I'll move to my copy of the design, and what I've done now is select the hatching and just changed its colour and thickness. Can you see the hatching extends all through the gravel bed area? It's not actually working with that defined space, and it's potentially going to get us into a degree of difficulty. Well, our designer wants to know, how can we apply an array to the bricks along that quite complex shape? Well, after 3 or 4 attempts, I've decided that because each one of those arcs, and there are 3 of them here, has a different centre point and inclusion angle is different, it makes no sense to work really hard to get our paving bricks through here. My suggestion is just add a note. In this case, say paving bricks to match the lawn header. Here's the lawn header there. And to match the lawn header along the garden bed. See, we're clearly saying we're going to lay paving bricks along this area. What I have done is set a different line type just to indicate it's not a curving line, it's not a core 10 steel edging or whatever. I've given it a different line type pattern, and I've given it a different line type scale, and I would do that for all the other 2 arcs in that curve. So we really do have to become focused on getting a result out to the client, which is easy to do and informative for the client. You might even argue that putting a similar note here, not bothering with that brick array going around there, but simply have a little block over here showing a typical array, not a typical array, but a typical section of that area. So you might, if we could copy it, copy a little section. Once you spend all that time working on it, we could copy that, pop it over here, and we don't need the red line or those 2 arcs. You could just trim that to whatever you want, and just in a presentation, in fact you could do that easily with the draw rectangle 2 points, just pop a rectangle over that and then edit it by modify and trim. The prompt says select the cutting edge. Well, it's just the rectangle that we've just put in. Now the object to trim is that arc around there and this bit here. And now we can swing into the landscape space and just maybe do a floating viewport with a couple of other notes showing the way in which those paving bricks will be placed. Here they're quite widely separated, but you might well move them the distance that you would lay them in your own work. So our recommendation is to stay focused on a way of getting the information to the prospective client in the most efficient way possible.